And Jesus talks about hypocrites here. People who appear to be one thing but are really another. And they appear to be praying because they love God. But here, what do they really love? And notice Jesus does use that word love here. Well, they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners. They're publicly religious and they pray in the streets. And why? Well, quote, so that they may be seen by others. And it is interesting that Jesus here goes back to seen. Because with giving, remember, the hypocrite's goal was that they may be praised by others. And that makes sense. Because back then and still today, people still do praise people for giving, right? They say, that's so generous of you, that's so kind of you. But what about praying? Well, back then and still today, think about it, it's rarer for someone to say to you, especially while you're praying, hey, you're so great because you're praying. Right? It's possible, but more likely, it's that they might see you praying in public, and then they'll think that you're so holy or religious. And the point back then is that these people knew that. And so, although they might not have gotten verbal recognition for their praying, still, they so loved the fact that people saw them and thought highly of them. That was their goal. And like last time, Jesus says because of that, they've received their reward. Meaning, sure, some people may think that you're so holy and great, but that's it. And again, that's such a small, hypocritical, and such a tragic reward. Because think of who we are. We were made, brothers and sisters, to genuinely love God and to have a real relationship with God in prayer. And instead, though, if we're like this, we shrink our hearts and we settle for the goal of other people just seeing our religiosity. Other people thinking somehow so highly about our holiness, even though it's a fake holiness. And then that's it. Right? And quickly, for all of us in church here this morning, right? Let's realize this can apply to so many things that you and I say we do for God or out of love for God. I mean, it really can. It can apply to coming to church. Right? It can especially apply to being involved in church or in other Christian activities. It can apply to seemingly pious or godly things we do or say in our homes. It can apply to our motives for why or what we post on social media as Christians. Right? It can apply to why we are so strict and looking down on others for some of the things they do. And more. Right? Because the truth is, brothers and sisters, in so many ways, we can say that we're doing something because we love God. But often the reality is, if we analyzed our hearts, we might actually see that we just want other people to think of us as so good and religious people. And again, Jesus' point is, if that's the case, then sure, some people may think that. Or honestly, they may not, because most people see through that. But either way, if that's it, then that's all you get. And we were made for so much more.